Hello, it's Freddy here again with another video. Today I'm going to be presenting the Star Wars role-playing game First Edition. What I consider to be one of the most influential role-playing games of all time. Now, while it might not be the most influential in role-playing game terms, I think it had a lot of influence outside. So let me just fill in some on the background. These books came out in 1987. You can see first printing October 1987. And it was a time when Star Wars had kind of come and gone. We'd been 5 years since the last movie. The TV series Ewoks and Droids had come and gone and very much diluted the brand. Star Wars was those old movies, about as influential as Tron Legacy is now. It had a cartoon series as well, but really, is anybody desperate to get Tron merchandise? But as well as that, you just didn't get a lot of books about films as much. So the role-playing game came out, and it's not just a role-playing game. These are, full of background pictures, the posed pictures, adverts from within the universe. I especially love the Creased Incom one. Original advertisement from Galactic Defense Review, published before nationalization of Incom by the Empire. A Galactic Tour advert. Wonderful little advert for Astromech, for the new R2-D2 unit, or R2 unit. These books were almost coffee table quality. You could look through them and they would detail so much. If I go onto the source book, you can see these are all behind the scenes design sketches. I believe that was an early version of Han Solo. These were all versions of the speeder bikes before they were set for Return of the Jedi. IG-88, different designs for. I believe there's a blueprint of the Millennium Falcon in here as well. Just so much. And background information on species. We'd seen the Mon Calamari fight, but we'd never read about their background and their homeworld. The background story of how Admiral Akbar was a slave kept by Grand Moff Tarkin. This really fleshed out the universe in a way we'd never ever had before. Although it's quite common to get source books and background informations now, the incredible cross-section books and things like that. The Imperial base plans. Not exactly detailed. I would have loved to have used them in a game, but they're not detailed enough. Background stories on all our heroes. But we'd never had all this before. You could have put these on coffee tables. People leaf through them. Initial sketches for the Star Destroyer. There's blueprints for the X-Wing. The amount of detail is really incredible. But when I say these games are influential, I feel in a way far beyond. While Dungeons & Dragons has had a massive impact on gaming and all that, here we've got the Imperial sourcebook. If I flick through it, if I can find what I'm looking for. Capital ships. Scales. There, that's what I was looking for. The Juggernaut. Well, it was introduced in this book. This particular one came out October 1989. It says down in the corner there. But the Juggernaut was introduced in that. But we didn't see it until Revenge of the Sith in 2005. and then Jyn Erso's being held prisoner in one at the start of Rogue One. These books provided a background for Star Wars that still is being dealt with. When in the early 90s they started to bring out the books, the novels, the Thrawn novels, Lucasfilm sent the author, Timothy Zahn, out copies of these books and said, you know, this is what exists in the universe. So in his novels, he deals with some of the starships and things. Just let's look at that lovely cover for a start. And this came out when Star Wars was only 10 years old. First 10 years. But we've got stuff in here. I probably should have bookmarked things, but just leafing through it and showing off the great artwork by all the team at Lucasfilm, which was made available to West End Games. Now, this filled in the galaxy. Ah, who doesn't want a speeder bike where you can kind of recline? Right, I'm looking for shiny pages here. Is it in the Imperial Sourcebook? Behind the scenes pictures again. There it is. The Skipray blast boat, which Timothy Zahn used in his novels, but they've been in the game for years. Detailing of Imperial rank insignias. And then all the different types of stormtroopers. Yes, we'd seen sand troopers and stormtroopers and scout troopers and snow troopers. But sea troopers, that just makes so much sense. And they kind of look cool. They're the scout troopers connected up to oxygen tanks. The undersuit looks like a wetsuit. And then, of course, Zero-G stormtroopers, basically powered armor in the Star Wars universe. Just so much detail you just don't get in role-playing games anymore. A Star Wars game these days will pack in stats from a million different sources, but won't really create new things. Whereas this did. But it wasn't just adding things willy-nilly. This was semi-official. This was expanding the universe in a real way. Anyway, that's just 3 of the hardback books. I've got the Rebel source book as well as the Thrawn trilogy, I beg your pardon, Timothy Zahn books. I seem to have combined the 2 names there. Whoops. The Thrawn trilogy, hardbacks. Yes, the days when all your books would be hardbacks. But I really feel that Star Wars is one of the most influential games out there. I feel that without this game, Star Wars wouldn't be where it is today. We wouldn't be watching Rebels and it having all this detail behind it. All these extra ships and Thrawn himself. I think it all starts here. And the fact that Pablo Hidalgo, who is in charge of the continuity within Star Wars, started off writing for the West End Games Star Wars role-playing game is a real sign of how influential this game is. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later.